a beautiful morning. The birds are singing. I got my car back from the dyno yesterday. The sun is rising. It's just a wonderful time to be alive. We made a few pulls. We made almost 1,400 horsepower. And then we blew it to 1,000,000 pieces. So that's cool. And now, now we get to do it all over again. But it's okay. Everything's fine. This is fine. Assessing the damage on this thing. Let me get a flashlight, show you guys kind of where the entry point was, or exit point rather. So you can see that's not supposed to be there like that. That's a little JB Weld maybe, right? I'm cool with the side of the block, but my brand new oil pan. Oh my God. What had happened was, but here's what I do know. We made 6 or 7 pulls. The vital signs were perfect. Oil pressure, perfect. Air fuel, perfect. Pulled the plug, it looked perfect. Fuel pressure, perfect. Literally every vital sign on the engine was exactly how you want it to be. There was not a single warning sign. Which leads me to parts failure of some sort. But it is impossible to tell, well, a rod broke or a piston broke or this broke without tearing the engine down and actually doing some diagnosing on the other parts that are still inside the engine. So before I point fingers, which I won't do anyway, I'm just gonna get it out. I'm gonna send it to Mike, and Mike is gonna detectivize the whole thing and he'll figure it out, because that's the right way to do this. I do this because I don't play golf or any athletic sport of any kind. That's why I do this. That's why we all do this. So let's tear this POS down and make it not so much a POS anymore. I got Brian Tooley Racing in my corner. I have every single person that's on board this car has reached out and given their condolences, offered help. And people that didn't even help from the jump have reached out to me and said, if there's anything we can do, let me know, let us know. And it's been awesome. It's been a really insightful experience in light of the darkness. So enough talking, more taking apart. So you can see this is the extinguisher residue that just coated the whole front of the engine. We got it put out quickly. Out of respect to the shop, I'm not gonna post the security footage of it lighting up because that's not something anybody needs to see. And honestly, I don't wanna watch it again. Oh my God, we're burning alive! But you can see everything is coated. Marcus Hammond, one of the techs at Dynasty, he was quick thinking and he immediately grabbed a soap bucket. We pushed this thing outside, and because of him, that residue didn't eat through my fresh paint.
No, I can't feel my legs. In comes a meat wagon.
Had I not been, of sound mind at the time, I would have just left it in there and let it melt. And Marcus brought me down to earth and said, get this thing outside, let's get it washed right now.
The medic gets out and says, oh my God. New guy's in the corner puking his guts out. All because you want to save a couple extra pennies.
All right, now you guys can see the picture of the car. I'll show you the picture of the car. This is the exact moment it let go. So I'm circled in yellow. That's where I was sitting lackadaisically, and this is when it lit up. So here you go. So all this is coming out onto that table, and then we'll figure out what you did. You're a bad engine. You're a stupid, silly engine. Dumb. So I learned something while I was tearing this thing down. Not about the engine exploding. I didn't learn anything about that. I learned that it is very hard to film and be funny and on this normal Logan level that I'm on, where I don't ever speak in third person. So hopefully this experience didn't change me to be one of those dicks that's like, Logan doesn't like that. Logan's not a fan of that. Yeah, I hope that is not what I turn into. But what I did learn is that when you put all your effort and all your heart and your energy into something and then you watch it literally explode in front of you, it's hard to be funny about it afterwards when you're tearing it down. But soldier on. I guess I have to try to find humor in all of this, so I will. I'll do my absolute bestest to find humor in this. So quick rundown. We got everything stripped off that. Most of the bell housing bolts are out, but intake's off. Powder coat is a little worse for wear. Turbos are covered in that stuff too. I mean, all this stuff is just that fire extinguisher garbage. Excuse me, but we'll have to just get it cleaned up. Heat blankets are a little charred. Titanium intake pipes alive. That's all that matters. But now let's see a situation report on the holes that are in the block that should not be in the block. Let's look at those. Okay, here's the first one. I named this one Suzanne. Suzanne likes to party. Oh God. What in the hell, Suzanne? Why? You couldn't just wait your turn? Don't worry, Suzanne has two friends. Janine, who's just a total bitch, and her friend Erica. And Erica is a party pooper, man, but she's not as bad as Suzanne! Come on, Susie! I'm not staying at this party, Erica! I'm not staying, I don't care if you're gonna bang Brad! Brad's stupid and he uses you, and all he does is use your gas and take your money, and nobody loves you! Suzanne is just a cock Blockington, dude. Brad's a good dude. He doesn't deserve this. So I know that everybody on the internet's gonna diagnose exactly what happened from looking in that hole. They're gonna pause it, and then they're gonna screenshot it, and then in the comments they're gonna be like, well, clearly the fractured blah 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 caused the blah 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 blah, and then that happened to blah 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 blah. And then I'm gonna be like, there's a hole, and there's not supposed to be a hole. That's my diagnosis. Give me my doctorate. Also, the spark plug. It might have been just the spark plug gap. Maybe, is that not what they're supposed to look like? Huh? So, I wish I could do like a 47-minute video on the rest of the teardown, but I'm not going to. I'm going to get the long block separated from the transmission. I'm going to put it on the same pallet that I brought it here on. I'm going to send it to Mike, and I'm going to put a little prayer card in there, maybe an advent calendar, something to tell him I love him, and ask him to get a little microscope out and figure out what happened. Hey, bud. Help. Oh, man. No, for real. I know that I've been preachy about this, but it's just a car. I mean, there was fire in the cabin through the transmission tunnel hole. There was no windshield. I'm an idiot. No windshield, fire, dyno fan blowing. I should never have brought the car to the dyno without a windshield. I should never have insisted that we put it on the rollers. It was a mistake, and I don't want anyone else to make that mistake. So, in lieu of you guys trying to explode your friends while they're tuning your cars, just don't do that. That's probably the best option. So until next time, I want to shout out 1320 Video. They have a bunch of cool stuff on their website for sale as per usual. No, they didn't just send me a box of stuff to put on the walls. I like to go and purchase things from people that help us out. And then you should too. They have some cool stuff for sale, hats and shirts and all sorts of Americana apparel. And I put their sticker on my car, but it won't be ready to drive for another fortnight or 12. So thank you guys for tuning in. If you can, put me in your prayer journals, because I'll need them as much as I can. The goal is to get this thing yanked, get another engine in this thing. I got a badass group of people behind me. Brian Tooley Racing to the mother effing front. Everybody else, thank you again. Adios. Glad that video's over. Fucking acting like I'm okay. Oh, shit. This is my outro song. I hope that you like it. Please go to clappedout.com and buy a t-shirt to make me feel better.